It is September here in Szpakowo, and not only do we have a field to harvest, but a whole farm to move. That's every bulk material and every animal and vehicle. We need to get it all to a different property. If you saw last episode, then you know we found some cheap acreage in a better location with more room for our equipment. First thing I want to get done today is get this milk delivered. There's a lot to do this month, of course. Our oat field is ready to harvest. The oat field, which is, we made it as an expansion to the wheat field beside it. It's right up here. If you've followed along with the series, then you'll know which field I'm talking about. If you want to catch up on the series and see past episodes, there's a link to the playlist down below. But let's see, where's it at? Right up here. It's ready to harvest, and that means after we harvest this, we'll be able to join these fields together and expand it a little bit more. See, we still have some room right there where we can expand it together. And there's the oat field, and the wheat field is, of course, right here. We harvested that last month. Oh, let me get out of the way of this car here. I'm trying to look over here. So, once we harvest those oats, we can join that together. We can do that. It's something we can start on this month. For right now, we're running this milk. Let's see. So I worked some more on the fields down south. If you recall last episode, back in August, the field behind the shop that we purchased and harvested, I'm working with that. We're also moving some silage, which you can probably see here in the truck, and we'll go over all this stuff as we go along. I also mentioned last month that we'll be selling our skid steer and a couple other things. I sold the skid steer and used that money plus some of the money we had to buy something a little more useful. Wasn't using the skid steer. There was nothing it could do that our front loader couldn't do, so I sold the skid steer, and then with some extra money bought a wheel loader, because we have a lot of stuff to move, and the wheel loader can do things the tractor can't do, because it can simply move a lot more. Right now in the process of moving, I guess, all the silage, pretty much everything, every bulk material on our farm right now we're moving. And you'll see some more on that here in a bit. But I'm in the process of moving all our silage and straw and stuff. And so there's that. Everything else we can kind of catch up as we go here. But one thing I'm looking forward to doing is harvesting that wheat. But have spent quite a bit of money between conditioning that field that we bought over by the shop. And you'll see what we've done there. As well as, the wheel loader cost about twice as much as I sold our skid steer for, so that bit into our funds quite a bit. However, there's a few more things that will be changing. For one, we'll be selling that our small little house yard in town. We're kind of removing stuff from there. The next thing to go will be the silo there. That small little silo that we started off with, which obviously we don't need anymore. We have the big silo down south. It's crazy. A lot has changed here. It seems like I'm doing a lot of updates just since last month, though it doesn't feel like I've done that much. But we'll get some money from this milk here from our cows. It doesn't feel like I've done that much since August. There's just, I guess, things that are going on, which now in September we need to address. I did finish harvesting everything last month and collecting all the straw. I think I sold all the straw, so we probably have some money from that. I believe I sold all the straw. The straw that we got for that harvesting contract back in July, there's still plenty of that left, so I went ahead and just sold all the straw from our fields. I planted wheat in all our fields because we needed straw for our cattle, but obviously I overdid it. We have plenty more than enough, and if we need straw in the future, we can always just buy it, or again, we do have straw, of course. So our milk is sold. Let's get this back to the farm. We need to get the harvester up to the oat field we drove by, get that harvested. But I think first, we're going to take this milk trailer back and finish loading the silage, because the silage right now is filling up, obviously, as you can see, our truck, which is normally what we would use for the grain. So before we can harvest, we need to transport this silage. Alright, so we'll squeeze our milk trailer back in here. Soon we'll have more space to park things. Yeah, well, we've been running out of room here for a while. And soon you'll see we'll have a lot more room to park things. In fact, things should become pretty clear this episode. We'll see. So we're going to hook up to the trailer for this truck, which, yeah, this is what we're going to use to transport the grain. But first, we've got this silage, and there's still some more. I'm loading all of the silage out of our bunker silo because we're moving it. And if you'll recall from previous episodes, there was about 50,000 liters of silage in there. Well, that's down to about 18,000 now. So here is our wheel loader that we bought. So I sold it. Whoops, fell off the silo. I thought we could get a good view from here. So I sold our wheel loader. And yeah, this is what I bought with that. Well, the sale from that plus about another 35,000 or so. But we can move 2.5 times the amount of, whatever, with this bucket capacity, It had a 1,000 liter capacity, and this has 2,500. And I can, of course, this is a wheel loader. I can get much bigger buckets, but I like the silage fork here. It seems realistic and everything like that. So we're using this, and yep, we are scooping all of this. We're going to move this. Well, everything you see here, the silage, the manure, the straw, those bales of hay back there, everything's getting moved. Yeah, I mean, we desperately need more space than we have here. So, I guess it's not too hard to put together by now that we're moving everything. And we'll be selling this property. And you can probably take a pretty good guess as to where. If not, that'll become clear here in a bit, because we're going to be taking this down there. Yeah, it's something that I've had in my mind for a little bit. We've been here over a year now. We have an entire yard full of equipment on this tiny little property here in town. And we need a proper farm yard. And we've got the tractor parking area in that field down south. But, I mean, that building's been full since we built it, basically. The building by the silo. So once we get down there, I'll show you what we'll be building. I've chosen a good, we'll have a new cattle enclosure, vehicle parking, house, you name it. It'll be down there. And everything, well, assuming everything goes as planned, I know what we're building, and I will show you that. Is that trailer full? It might be. Do we have enough for the rest of the silage? That I don't know. But it should take, I don't know, maybe 6 more loads of this or something. And just now, while I was scooping out this silage, I saw something else in our yard here that we might be able to put up for sale. Got that snowplow over there. And if I recall, that thing wasn't too cheap. We might be able to sell that. Well, we can sell that if we need to and get more money. Money's going to be needed for such a big move as I got planned for us here. Well, last winter we had a decent amount of snow, which of course is why I bought the snowplow. But it turns out, here on the map of Szpakowo, it wasn't letting me plow the roads anyway. The plow wouldn't work on the roads. It would only work on fields. So that really kind of diminishes the utility of a snowplow if you can't use it on the roads. At least I couldn't, not on any of these dirt roads here. It's going to be a couple months until it snows anyway. If snow becomes a problem, we could buy another one. It's just something I thought of while I was down there. Yep, that is us full of silage. Let's park this back over in the silo so we don't have too much equipment sitting out. And we're going to run this silage down there and find a place to put it. And while we're down there, I'll show you some of the buildings we're going to have, such like that. Once we drop this silage off, we'll go ahead and do the harvesting. As you can see, there's just a little bit of silage left. And I don't want to take up the space in our trailers with this because we want to harvest too. So, I try to spread out what we do in each episode. Otherwise, we would just be doing one thing and it would be a boring show now, wouldn't it? All right, so let's get this down to what is going to be our new property. Now, if it wasn't in last episode, I did sell this field here. I told you I was going to sell this field, and I did, and now belongs to, I don't know, that guy. It only sold for about 20, was it 24? Yeah, I think it was 24,000. Sold that for. We got one harvest out of it. We're done with it, you know, and it's up here by the house. We're selling all this property. We don't need that tiny little field up here. So that brought us I think it was 24,000. We'll be selling that silo that we've got on our property up there because, well, we won't be up there anymore. And also we have the bigger silo down here. So as you may have surmised, the property we're moving to is that 1 hectare field I bought behind the store, which, yeah, I told you I had an idea on how to use it, and, well, this is what it's going to be for. I looked and looked and looked, and it looks like simply a great property. I noted last episode its connections to all these back roads back here. It's got great connections to the back roads. You get the bale sell point right there. You've got our tractors. A lot of our tractors are parked over there. Of course, this back road here we're on now goes down to delivery point up there. All of the back roads on the east side of Szpakowo here are all connected by roads. And it's right behind the shop, although there's no road through to it. It's a great place, and it's also big and open. And another factor in choosing this particular property is we've got machines. This is something I always take into account on maps. We've got machines spread out all over this map, parked in various places. If I wasn't playing on PC, I would not have enough inventory space for all the machines on this map. Because I'm on PC, there is no inventory. I only know that exists because it was on PlayStation. What I'm saying is I have no idea what it is, but it would be sky high. So, where I'm going with this is I try to keep things parked far apart as possible. I try not to have 30 machines in one place, if you follow my drift. So, I was trying to find a place that had good connections to everywhere, had a good, nice, square, you know, flat-ish piece of land, and was preferably far away from where other machines and things were parked, and that is why we're here. So what I've done is I've harvested this, gotten all the straw off and everything, and then I didn't have to, but just because of immersion, I went through and cultivated the whole thing. Again, I didn't have to. And then I went into landscape mode, and then I just painted it with grass. But I wanted to do it properly instead of just nuking it with grass. You know, I went through and I did work the whole place. So we have us a big open field here. Actually, yeah, there's no more field info because adding the grass effectively deleted that. And we'll be putting our silage out here, which we haven't built a bunker silo yet, of course, as you can see. But there's no sense putting it in a bunker silo. It's already silage. So we'll just put it in a nice heap somewhere out of the way. So I'll show you the buildings that we're going to have here. All right, so here is the area we've got. It was this hectare right here, and then I also bought this little strip field. There was a little strip field here, kind of like this soybean field right here. You know, got my mouse right here. It was about another 30 grand, and I decided we needed that extra space, so I bought that strip. Eventually, we'll buy this strip too. That way, we'll have this whole plot of land right here on the corner of this road. I think that's a nice place. This soybean field here is also about 30 grand. It shouldn't be a problem, but I don't want to go spending too much of our money right now because we're going to need a ton of it, as you're about to see. I'll show you what we're going to build here. So for house, I went through and looked at this a lot. We need a house here, and what I'm going to actually do is put a decorative house. If I can find where it's at, it's going to be way down here probably. So this is just a decorative house from a mod pack of houses. And what we'll do is we'll put this down, and then I should have a welcome mat, you know, that you can put down as a sleeping point. Let's see. I should have one of those. If not, I have that mod somewhere, and I can enable it. Yeah, we can put that decorative house, and then just put a little sleep doormat there, and that'll become our new sleep point. We're also going to have. Oh yeah, let's pull this back up. So we need a new cattle pen. I think it's this guy right here. This is the same cattle pen that you see at my friend Nick's cattle farm way over. We've been over there a few times. This is the same one he's got there. It came pre-installed on the map. I guess this is included with the map kind of. And I like it. As you can see, we can't afford it yet. This is going to go about right here. I like this because it's got a nice shape. It's got the really unique vehicle parking in it. It also holds 40 cattle and holds manure in the back. This will go right here. The house right here, and I'll get my mouse. This will go here, the house over here in this corner, and that'll leave, there'll be driving room through here to drive all the vehicles through and park in the back, whatever, we can't fit in the things. that's all going to work very great, and that's what's going to go here. So yeah, lots of work to do here as we begin our second year into the farm. Just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of how I decided to progress our farm here. Now, this we can pretty much safely... So now you see we can kind of just dump this silage pretty much anywhere in the back half of the property. But I'd like to get it somewhere that's kind of out of the way but still accessible. You know what I think is good is probably by these power line poles here, because we won't be building anything by them or likely parking anything by them. I think that's a pretty safe bet. So what we're going to do, now if I was dumping into a silo, I would leave the trailers connected, but we're not. So I'm going to dump these one at a time so I can dump them in the same place is why. Yeah, we'll just put this about like right here. See how this goes. Now it's quite a bit of silage. I mean, this is everything that we had in our bunker silo here. But yeah, we're selling that property, so we're going to want to be moving everything off of it. Now, yeah, so we didn't have enough money for that cattle barn. That cattle barn was $130,000, I think. Our property in town, I checked, our property in town is going to sell for, I think, about 230 or 40, I think. Yeah, I know I should do a better job of checking things before I make huge life-changing decisions and spend all our money, but it's more fun to live on the edge. I think it's going to be 200 and some thousand, which will more than cover, whoops, there we go, everything we need. Let's just kind of get this dumped out here. There we go. All right. And we'll want to bring manure back here as well as well as the straw, the hay, things like that. For right now, it's a safe place to put that. I hope that's a good place for the silage because that right there is 40,000 liters, and that is about, what, 16 shovel loads with our wheel loader. Unless I decide to get us a bigger bucket, which is an option. So let's get this up to our oat field. Let's get that harvested, and then we can work on like expanding it and other things. Our harvester's down here. I'll have to get that up there as well. Yeah, see, I'm driving around this field. That's why I want to buy this soybean field. If you buy this soybean field here, well, you can see better from here, then yeah, having direct access to this road would be great. And it's only 30 grand. I'm sure we'll be able to. But for now, yeah, let's get up to this field, get this up here, up there, and we'll get the harvester up there as well. All right, now, since we've harvested our wheat field, we can use this to stage our equipment in, luckily. It works out. I don't know how big this area of oats is up here. You know, we have the wheat field here, and then that started as an expansion to this. It's got oats planted in it because when I made that expansion, this was already planted with wheat, so we planted oats there in the meantime. Now, whoops, the header's on the other side. Now, with them both harvested, we'll be able to join them together, and there's still some more room over there to expand that. Now that we have bigger tractors and stuff, we can work bigger fields, you know, than when we started here. This will be a great field to have. So once we get this harvested, well, we'll have to bale. This fall, when we do our fall tillage, we'll be able to join these two fields. Yeah, there's no reason not to go ahead and expand this further. But yeah, this grass here to our left, that'll be part of the expansion, and it'll go up past that field up there a little ways. All the way, I think it goes all the way up there to that creek. And which means we could potentially put a bridge back there across to our land back there. Because back there on the other side of the creek, it's where our tractors and stuff are parked. Although it might require buying another piece of land, I don't know. But it would be nice to have stuff, you know, linked together. This will be the last of our fields to be harvested. There's a couple of, I think there's one cornfield for sure that will be harvesting for someone else here in a couple of months. maybe as early as next month, actually. Maybe next month. My friend's cattle farm next door, he's got a cornfield that I offered to harvest for him because I wouldn't mind making some money harvesting some corn. Oh yeah, we'll need a corn header for this, of course, which we don't have yet. I'm hoping we'll get lucky and one will, you know, a used one will pop up at a reduced price. I don't know. I've been checking. We got really lucky. This harvester coming up for sale used right before harvest. Really lucky with that. I don't expect to get so lucky with a corn header, but you never know. Now, one thing is we've got a good amount of grain in our silo, which we're going to sell this winter. So we're making good money, and I need to remember, I seriously do need to remember, because I have forgotten before that we've got a good amount of grain, and this grain is going to go in our silo in our back property back there, along with all the other grain we have. This is giving us, should give us a decent amount. I say if I remember, because, you know, grains like oats and barley and wheat, they always sell best in the winter, you know, like December, January. And so many times I've put those in my silo to keep until wintertime to sell for a higher profit, and then forgotten, you know, and then spring, summer rolls around and the price is like half of what it was in the winter. And I lose all that profit because I forgot to. So make sure to remind me. Don't let me forget about December or so. I should probably do it December. That way I hopefully won't forget. All right, and we just about got this done. One more run down the field. And yeah, it's not very big at all. It all fit in one hopper. Of course, we'll expand this once we get the straw up. Then yeah, with all the wheat we harvested off our other fields, plus these oats, plus when we did that, it was in July, or maybe we did that triticale harvest contract where we got the straw from. You know, I harvested it first. We got leftover triticale from that harvest, which I put in our silo. I didn't sell it just yet because, yeah, better sale price in winter time. So we should have a decent amount of grain to take this December. All right, and that is this harvested. And yeah, that fits neatly and only just right in the back of our truck, nice and neatly. Now, got quite a bit done today already. I guess we could go ahead and start on this baling. Or we could get some more stuff. Yeah, let's get some more stuff moved out of our farmyard, because this is only filling up just the bed and the truck right here. We still have this other trailer here. So as long as we're going back down south, let's take some farm stuff with us, because we're going down there to the silo. So let's move this harvester out of the straw at least. Let's park it over here. Well, I may as well go ahead and pack it up, get ready to move. Let's park this on the header trailer. And get this packed up, ready to move south. And we'll fill that back trailer, I don't know, with silage, or yeah, probably silage. Take the rest of the silage back there. I'll get the straw later. I noticed we also have our straw trailer up there with some straw on it as well, and bales, and we also have about 6, I think, bales of hay. Well, eventually all that stuff goes. Oh, and our cattle, of course. Our cattle will have to move. Yeah, you know, we're moving all this stuff, and we're moving our, we're putting a new cattle pen. Well, that means the cattle are going as well. I wonder, can we drive the truck through this? You think? Make a shortcut. Yeah, I don't think that's too bumpy. Let's move our tractor here. Move this tractor out of the way. And I think we can sneak the truck through here. If we're sneaky with it and a little careful. Hopefully it's not too bumpy. No, it's not too bad at all. And should we have this back here? Yeah, you know, I think it'd be easier to load from back here. And that snowplow is properly in the way. So, since I think it would be a good idea to sell it, let's go ahead. Let's get back in the tractor. Let's go ahead and hitch it up to this tractor, get it out of the way, and when we get a chance, we can run it down to the shop. Can I get to it to hitch it? Yeah, I'll have to move it. I think I must have bumped into it with something and kind of spun it around. Oh, it's a good thing I drove over here. There's the baler. You know, I would have looked for the baler down south with the other machines. I forgot the baler was here, so that's good. With the baler up here, it's already up here by the field that we need to bale. All right, got the snowplow, and we'll just park this over here out of the way. And I'll take that down to the store when we have a chance. And I forget how much we bought it for, but again, I don't think it was cheap, so it should fetch us some money. All right, so now let's get the rest of this silage in here. How much are we looking at here? Oh, turn this on. Oh, 8,000. Oh, that's only, what, 3 scoops? A little more, 3 scoops and change with this guy. Excellent. We should be able to just drive right over it, actually. With our new, our new tracked wheel loader. We can just drive right over that, can't we? Yes, we can. Did we lose any? No. It looked like we did, but we didn't. And yeah, we can fit it all in this back trailer back here. I just thought of that, but yeah, we can. This is a handy tool to have. I wanted to buy it originally, but originally we didn't have really a use for it, and it wasn't too cheap. I believe this loader was $58,000, which really isn't bad at all. But when you're just starting out a farm, yeah, it was a bit much then, but now I found it quite affordable. Now there's some chaff here that you see when we were compacting the silo. Some of the chaff spilled out here and then didn't get covered in the silo with the rest. So we need to make sure that we scoop the silage and not the chaff. Now that we have some silage in the bucket, what we can do is, it won't pick up the chaff now because we have silage in the bucket, so we can drop this all the way down and we can get, see, just like that. Of course, now it's going to want to start pushing it. That is good enough. We'll leave the rest in there. There's no, well, it should be easy enough to get. Yeah, let's dump this in, and that should be easy enough to get. We can get that too. Of course, there's also hay here on the ground that I keep driving over, I just noticed, and straw over there. We'll get that in a different trip, of course. There we go. Bunker silo is empty. We'll get this put in the truck, and we'll be ready to go down south, drop the oats off in the our silo there. Oh, and before we go, speaking of silos and selling things, we have this silo here. We didn't hardly use it much. We used it a little bit the first year we were here, but then, well, as you know, tends to happen, we outgrew it. I like this silo. You know, I didn't want to sell it last episode, but yeah, let's go ahead because we're moving off this property here within the month, so let's go ahead, and we just don't need it anymore. It'll sell for a little bit. 5,000 for that, 10,000 for that, and this power washer here may as well sell that. All right, well, that's a few more funds, a little more funds there for the move. All right, let's get this down south to our silo and our new farm property. Now, there are other farms on this map that I could have purchased. This map comes with a few different farms, and I simply chose to build our own up here by simply harvesting the field that was there. And then, like I said earlier, you know, I harvested the field that was there, and then I painted it with grass, and voila, we're going to build the buildings ourselves. But there's other properties here, but I chose to build our own here. get more creative license that way, you know. All right, so we'll just dump this silage with this here. Quite a bit. Yeah, we cooked up a whole lot of this, but that's okay. Our cattle are going to go through it eventually. So let's drop this here. And now let's get over to our silo and drop off these oats. We should have a decent amount. I mean, that's not a whole lot of oats, only 8,000 liters, but I think we've got about 30,000-ish maybe of wheat, and I don't know, enough that come December we should have a decent grain sale. Here's our field 103 here. Of course, I get all the straw off of that. That's ready to be replanted into whatever we decide to do with it. Up here, this field is still empty. This field that we plowed, I don't know, a few months ago now. Well, it was, I think it was June maybe, and it was just barely too late to plant anything there. I guess we're waiting till next year to plant this field, but this field will be handy. It's about 2 hectares. All right, got our oats dropped off there. All right, so I just checked. It's got about 37,000 liters of wheat, about 8,000 liters, the 8,000 liters of oats, 6,000 liters of rye. Oh yeah, that's from that other field. I was like, where did I get rye from? That skinny field over there by, you know, I said I made where we just were, that property, and I said I bought another skinny field beside it to make it just a little bit bigger to make room for the cattle pen. That was rye, so about 6,000 liters of rye, and then also some triticale from that harvesting contract earlier. Yeah, so there's some decent crops in there to sell. So I haven't really figured out yet how we're going to move our cattle. We don't have a cattle trailer. There's one we can borrow because we used one to get them here in the first place. I'll have to ask my friend if we can borrow that again, or I could buy one for our farm, which would probably be the best thing to do. Really, we should have our own cattle trailer, I suppose, but I'll have to do that. And well, besides the hay and straw up here, obviously the cattle, there's a decent amount of equipment that needs to be moved. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and let's sell that snowplow. Let's see how much we can get for that snowplow. Now on the way down here, one thing I was thinking about is instead of scooping all that straw into the back of the truck, what we could do is I could use the wheel loader, just kind of spread it out and bale it right there in our backyard. It would transport easier, it would take up less space, and when we move it, we wouldn't be dumping it on the ground like the silage. We would be putting it in neatly stacked bales, and then just then I can decide wherever we're mixing it, I could cut those bales back open. So how much do we get for this? Okay, I thought it was more expensive than that, but hey, it's money we didn't have. That's excellent. Still can't afford that cattle shed, but again, you know, we'll be selling our property, and it sells for a decent amount, I guess, because the cattle shed sells with it, drives up the price, I guess. I kind of wanted to get the new cattle shed built, but I can't do that until, well, we need the money from the property sale, and I can't sell that until we get everything off the property, including the cattle. So I guess it'll be, you guys will see the new cattle barn next episode. Now, of course, today's Friday. We'll have the October episode on Monday. There may be another, I always say this because there may be another September episode in between now and Monday. I'm not sure just yet. But so probably in the next episode, we'll have the cattle barn built back there. We'll have some stuff moved. Luckily, that cattle barn, as you saw, is really big, and it includes vehicle parking, which is great. That's just awesome. I do, however, plan on having another farming simulator video not related to this series. Well, we'll see about that. I'm not sure. It depends on when I have time to finish making that. All right, so I think it'd be best, let's move these 2 straw bales out of the way. See, we could scoop all that into the truck, or if we spread it out a little bit, we could bale it carefully, and then, you know, then it's just way easier to move. Just move these bales over here. What just happened to that straw bale? Oh, I know what happened. When I picked up the straw bale, I scooped some straw along with it. I was wondering what happened. It's because I came here real fast like this and just kind of grabbed it, and in doing so, I scooped some straw up on the forks with it. I see. And I just did it again. I was trying to repeat what I did, and yeah, that's where that came from. So this time, carefully, very daintily, pick up just the bale. Not that dainty, just a little bit. There we go, just the bale. Can I drop these over here? I mean, yeah. Drop these over here. There we go. I pushed that one out of the way. Oh, it's actually not a bad idea. Let's back up a little bit more. And we'll just... There we go. Push both of these out of the way. Get off to the forks. There we go. All right, now we'll come through with the wheel loader, and we'll spread those piles out. And then we can grab the baler right here, and it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Bale them up. But that's the thing, though. This is a mountain of straw. Well, it is, but it's not as dense as it looks, actually. Yeah, that's true. This is only a couple of bales. They just really, when I cut the twine on the bales, it really just spread out. Look, it's really not that dense at all. This won't be hard at all to spread out, actually. It's kind of a big mess area-wise. Yeah, straw is so not dense. It'll take a little bit of running over it with the baler, unless I want to come out here and windrow it, which I kind of don't. But yeah, you know, we can drive over this. I mean, yeah, at least we are with this. Of course, this thing weighs about 20 tons, but let's see if we can bale it as it is. Just get this guy parked here. And this arm moves so slow up and down. I swear it's slower than the tractor. All right. That thing is awesome. This is my favorite wheel loader. I used this thing in FS19. I'm using it now in 22. You know, with 25 on the horizon, you know, I find myself really hoping that my favorite mods will be recreated for 25. I guess time will tell. But yeah, I've used this thing through 2 different farming simulator games. It's my favorite wheel loader. All right. Come to me, baler. We shall use you in the yard. All right, now we're going to want to raise our boom up so we don't start scooping straw on accident. That always pet peeve of mine. Let's see how this goes. Well, there's one bale. Now, of course, the bales that I brought this straw in here were they were the big square bales. They were like 9,000 liters each. And our bales that we make are quite a bit smaller, so this is going to make more bales. But, oh yeah, it's picking it up pretty fast. This is how you clean straw up out of your backyard, kids. This is how you do it. It might have been just as fast to scoop it 2,500 liters at a time into a truck, but I like this better. It's almost like we're vacuuming our yard. And that is all of the straw, I believe. Yep, that made 2 bales. 2 bales and change. And now we can run this out to our newly harvested oat field and get the straw from out there. So yeah, that's all ready to go. Yeah, everything in the yard is baled up, with the exception of... I keep forgetting there's that hay. Where did that hay go? Oh, there it is. Yeah. We'll have to get this hay up. But you know what? That might not even be hay. If we're lucky, that's just 1 shovelful on this loader. Let's see here. Because look, it doesn't look like that much. And if it's as sparse as the straw, we might be able to just scoop this up and just take this down south with the loader. Not have to transport it in anything. Yeah, totally. Just kind of, let's try to get it. Yeah, I gotta like follow the ground with my bucket here, like precisely. Why is it not scooping that? Oh, you know why? Because that's like the edge of our property, I'll bet, is why. Let's see if I turn around and get it from the other side. Let's see. You know, I think I inadvertently scooped that, like, off our property. Honest mistake. I wasn't, it was not, that was the last thing on my mind. Yeah, so, yeah. Wow, it's so little there you can hardly even see it in the bucket. Yeah, so that's everything off our grounds anyway. We need to move the vehicles, but everything's off the ground and out of the silo. You can just run that down there. There's lots of equipment to move, and of course there's the moo cows up here to move. All right, so I'm going to get out here and, well, we're going to bale this. So, yeah, next thing we'll be joining these two fields. And like I said, I don't know if there'll be a second September episode or if I'll wait till October because, well, of course, again, October will be on Monday. There is another farm sim video I want to do, at least one, maybe more. So regardless, whatever month it is, next episode will be doing all this because this will be fun, joining all this because we'll be doing all this fall tillage, joining these fields and expanding them out here. And it's a perfect excuse to drag out our Case IH, the big Steiger. It's a perfect excuse to bring that bad boy back out since we're covering so much territory with a cultivator. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in for September here in Szpakowo. I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. And you can always check out the playlist link for the other videos. And I really appreciate subscription and comments and likes, things like that. It really helps out the channel. Put a lot of work into this channel, and I'd like to see it grow. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll catch you all next time.